What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot coming back to you with another video. And today's video features, I want to say, Dan's round one from the event that we had a weekend ago at the Adventurers Guild in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I actually have the homie Dan, our Energon Invitational 2019 winner, here with me. Dan, how you doing?
What's up? How you doing?
Not much, man. I'm chilling.
Yes, it was round one.
Okay, this was your round one as well. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So what ended up, why did you end up deciding to play this deck, the Springer?
So this was kind of like a variation of the Will Gomez deck from Energon Invitational that I faced in top 8.
Okay.
But we went a little more like Adam Bixler with it.
Okay, for sure.
So it was basically like we really liked how that OA deck worked, and we were trying to get an OA deck to work, kind of leading up to EI, and this was just like a good idea of how to get one to work.
Absolutely. Okay. So unfortunately, there's a glare on a couple of the cards, but that's Springer over there that Dan just flipped to. It's Almo 2, and that Almo 2 allows him to discard and upgrade to draw 2 cards. So being able to start with that is very strong. Nice +1 and builds you up to that big old 7-card hand turn with the bot mode.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is to get the OA and be able to play 2 upgrades and 2 actions all in one go.
And the other thing to point out is, I guess you're putting the upgrades all on Tailwind since he has Stealth, and you can't attack Tailwind just about ever.
Yeah, so, and that's also the other Mega Glared card that you can't see.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But like you can even see there, on that opening turn, I did 7 damage to that Prowl.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Playing one-shots, man?
Nope.
No, I'll be funny. Like, anytime a character's within 3 damage of dying, one-shot stand immediately comes to mind. It's like, where's the one-shot? Okay, so...
So I'd like to point out here that I actually think that this play is wrong.
Okay, so what happened? So he played the escape route.
Yeah, he escape routes his baby Prowl to then attack with big Prowl.
Okay.
And there's like no chance he's gonna get an untap effect off, because this Prowl is definitely gonna die. Yeah. And his whole deck works off untaps. So I would have attacked with little Prowl and said, "Get me."
Because it'd probably survive. Yeah, I got you.
There's a better chance it would survive than this one, you know.
Understood. Okay. And this is Wad's. Shout out to Wad's and Mech. This is his latest version of his. He calls it Dreadnought engine. So actually pretty cool. But yeah, I can see why you're saying that based off of the untaps. Maybe he doesn't have any untaps in hand, but I mean, so maybe that's potential why he did that.
Yeah.
And,
I hear you.
But I guess the flip off of Prowl to kill a weapon is probably not going to be that relevant, since most of your. Well, I guess you have backup beam. Maybe that's the only relevant one that'll.
Yeah, but generally the way that I would play the deck is I wouldn't play the weapon or the armor until the Springer turn.
Well, okay, for sure.
So it was like, I'll just play my utility all the time, and if they don't have an answer to that, then they just get 08.
Right, for sure.
But so now that, like, you see the early conversion engine here, the deck just really goes off if you're able to see that early conversion engine.
Right. And that's another one being utility, so Smelt and, it looks like reprocess or ramming speed for Wad's deck is the only outs to be able to get rid of it. So
yeah,
you need to deal with that before you really get going.
Yeah. And this is definitely like it's a tough spot for him as a whole, because he lost his first character so easily. And then on top of that, he also didn't kill my character, which is probably even the bigger hurt. So you can just see already how far behind he is in the matchup.
Right. And if he doesn't have direct damage, having a burn and tie another attack into it. Remember, guys, I talk about direct damage all the time. It's absolutely needed just about in every deck. So having to waste another attack into that, what is it, Knife Light is not ideal.
Right. Well, it's not that. He just actually, like, he kind of just leaves it around now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't going to go Reckless Charge into that, you know?
No.
So you did see me pick up the OA there. I think that's the first one I picked up now.
Okay.
This
looks
game,
like you have 7 cards in hand as well too. So
yeah, the deck with the conversion engine, it gets up there so easily.
Right.
But because I'm pretty sure I just have it early. I'm trying to remember exactly. I remember how this game ends. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Well, so it looks like a flip of Springer again to back to all mode 1 to discard an action and draw 2. Gonna play the utility, the crown on that's Tailwind there.
Yep, that's good.
So looks like he needs one more turn to really set up and get explosive here.
Right, and I'm like, I might not even play an action here.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So like you see, like I didn't even play an action. I'm like, oh, my guy has 7 attack. I'll just get it done, you know.
Right. and with 16 health and 2 defense, you're not doing 20 to him unless you're playing against an orange or Battlefield Legend deck or something.
Yeah.
Or I guess Insecticons can kind of get up there.
Yeah. But
probably not 20 though.
Not Baby Prail or Cliff Jumper. That's for sure.
No.
Right,
yeah,
so
definitely needed to be an eye for
OA.
here. Not getting rid of that knife flight definitely is going to be annoying for him to deal with.
Yeah,
you can kind of just play a regular game for a while and just attack with it, and they can waste another attack into it, and then body one of his characters next turn or that turn.
Exactly.
The following turn.
But even now, like you saw, I got the second OA there, so I can potentially win the game on the next turn with double OA.
Now I was gonna ask, throughout the tournament, did you do double OA to anybody?
Let's find out, Stefan.
oh, did I just ruin it? Oh shoot! Oh, whoops! I just ruined it. Well, we'll see. So Cliff Jumper coming in with a head-on collision and coming in with 8 attack into, I'm gonna assume Springer because wasted attack otherwise, and excuse me, Bold 2 as well from the Prowl.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty sizable attack, but unfortunately not gonna do enough to kill the Springer. Killing the Springer obviously would have been ideal here, but that's just not gonna happen. But that's 13. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So if he had the grenade launcher there, he would have had him.
He actually would have killed you. Yeah. So. Yeah. I guess with that Bolt 2 from Prowl, that really helped. So.
Yeah. So like you'll see me do this a few times throughout the game. I like lay out the cards like, okay, like I have this, I have this, I have this. How do I play the puzzle?
Right.
Because like I like to point out this is the first time I'm playing this deck.
Right. Okay.
So like we brainstormed it, we put it together. I'm like, all right, let's see what this looks like and how it actually kind of functions.
Wow. Okay, so we got a flip to bot mode here, and Dan easily has more than 7 cards in hand at this point. So he has to play an action and upgrade first, and has to be in that order. So he plays first OA, doesn't plan yet. Then he plays his first upgrade, and now he's playing his upgrade for his turn, and then he still has another action for his turn as well. So you get 2.
There it is.
Oh, that's a witch.
No.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Double overwhelming advantage, and what's nice about this, you don't need a separate 5 Skittles cards, I call them, in order to hit the effect. You only need to hit the card, the 5 colors once, and to trigger both. So he's gonna plan twice with the overwhelming advantage since he does have 2 Decepticons. And
I also have the crown too, but I don't think I planned for that because I don't think I had the right card.
So you would be able to plan 3 if you needed to. But
I believe this is the only way in the deck to really get away with playing 3 unless you play wedge instead.
Right.
Which normally you're planning a wedge because the blacks are kind of hard to find in the list. And I didn't even have to flip any further. I got to 4 cards. I'm like, I just 15 both of those guys.
That is sick. That's sick. I've never actually seen it happen until just now. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure I said to Wads, I'm like, I'm just doing this for the memes. But
wow.
So yeah, that was pretty much the perfect hand for this deck.
Yeah. So what are your opinions on this deck? Because it can definitely be disrupted by a deck that's better prepared with
100%
more upgrade removal and things like that. So do you think this is better to go just a straight aggressive deck?
I think
with Springer, or
we played 4 rounds.
Right.
And I OA'd in game 1 of all 4 rounds. So like without disruption and like without people like figuring it out, I guess like fast enough, you know, it's very hard to like not do it. But in the second and third games, which I went to quite often, it was definitely a lot more complicated to actually OA. So it becomes like a guessing game of like, oh, do I want to do this out of the sideboard? Do I want to just get rid of it altogether? As a whole, I think just the Tailwind, the Sky Patrol crew, can probably just do enough damage on their own, just like they can in the General Alchemist deck, and stuff like that.
It's such a great support right now. Like I'm testing it with I have a by the way, guys, a Lord Megatron version of this deck coming out soon. It's got to put the other cards together for it, but I think that's a decent home for him for Lord Megatron. So just in general, what I'm saying, the Airstrike Patrol is just a great support. I mean, +2/+1 every time you flip a green is just insane. So definitely one of the stronger assets out of Wave 4.
Yeah, Megatron's a good card. He's trying to find a good home.
My favorite part about the entire deck is 2-prong attack, because you can play it both ways. You probably won't use the tank part as much, but at the same time, I mean, depending on how many cards, the game state, you might just use that, strip 2 cards out of the hand. It reminds me of Sentinels, so aggressive control deck. So
that's fair.
Yeah, play system reboots and stuff to kind of speed along, with them decking out. Just he has so much health. So like when you do hit him, it's gonna take like 3 or 4 hits to kill him. You know, depending on what deck you're playing against. So.
No, I'd like to point out the blur sideboard here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really good decision by Wadsworth to board into blur and to go to the 3.
Now you say that, but depending on if he goes first or second,
right?
When
he
untaps to attack an untapped character, he still can't attack Tailwind because it still has stealth while untapped, so he has to attack Springer.
So as long as Springer is untapped, yes, he has to attack Springer. But if he goes first, he has to attack Springer anyway. So he actually gets a pretty good amount of damage on Springer with the opening attack.
Gotcha.
And he doesn't have an untap, I believe, in this game, so that kind of puts him behind.
Right.
But the point is that the blur actually gives him a chance to put himself ahead.
Okay, no, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about him. I guess him going first and getting that damage from the good.
Yeah, like so he gets 5 damage. Yeah, so
right.
he only has to do 11. That's not too hard of an ask as long as he gets a weapon type scenario.
So like supercharge erratic or a grenade or supercharge or something along those lines.
Well, the grenade wouldn't help because it goes away after the first attack.
Oh, it does. I take it back. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has to be erratic or something.
Yeah, it has to be some type of stable weapon.
Correct. Right. Static laser of iron heights. Like I don't know. We'll see. All right, so Dan's gonna flip for his turn, and I think that's the upgrade mode, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called upgrade, and
it's always upgrade first.
Right.
Which I can't tell you how many times on the day I just kept him in helicopter mode and said, "I'm doing this." And the one big difference about this version as compared to other Sky Patrols is you don't really get to flip your Night Flight as much. A lot of the other decks will flip their Night Flight on 1 to go to the 1 armor side.
Right.
You don't really have that chance unless like you just somehow don't have an upgrade in your opening hand. Maybe you would make that decision. But it's really hard to flip your Night Flight to give it the extra armor type scenario.
Yeah.
I also do this quite often throughout the game.
Okay.
Like, well, throughout the day, I was just like, I'm literally just playing Wedge to see cards. I'm like, all right, let me see what it is, you know?
Yeah. So unfortunately, there's no deck that's solid enough in the meta that could play to all 3 effects, and it's probably not necessary. But being able to play at least 2 of the effects, Wedge Formation. If you have a melee character, you can heal 1. If you have a specialist, you can plan 1, and if you have a ranged character, you can draw 1. So Dan is able to at least do 2 of those effects, and it's playing a double orange or whatever. You get some value out of it, or even an orange green.
Whatever. You know, when you're running 3 Bashing Shield, 3 Enforcement Baton and stuff like that, right. You never need 3 of those cards. So it's actually it's not bad at all to be able to plan the green orange on top of your deck. Absolutely. So he ends up with Anticipation Engine, which is kind of the issue here because he whiffs obviously.
Yeah.
And he has a head-on collision, so he has an okay, and he got the bold also. So he ended up with pretty good attack.
Bold too with potentially flipping an action. Yeah. Definitely. So we got 2 defense, but it still dies, I think.
Yeah.
So this is a very important turn. He needs to try to kill that Springer this turn. Does that count?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
That's so what supercharge off the Anticipation Engine and has bold 5. Yeah. 6 bold 5. 10, that's like 16, 15, 16.
It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, see? So the blur is just like insane.
It really is.
On the play here.
Wow.
And like if he has the untap, the game is over, right?
Right.
I'm just like that's literally where I'm at my head. I'm like, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that'll do it. Damn.
But yeah, the reason the supercharge works is because it's like on attack, so it's before you actually flip combat flips.
That makes sense.
It's the first card you reveal.
I guess that, yeah, because Optimus, if you flip a supercharge, you're already flipping, so you can get the bull, but you won't flip the additional cards because you're already in the process of flipping.
Yeah, the Anticipation Engine's like its own little trigger first.
Right, makes sense.
So this is just clearly desperate times where desperate measures type turns.
Right. Yeah, definitely going to be important. I take that back. You're not going to be able to one-shot the blur, unfortunately. So if he does have an untap, like you said,
well, it's possible that I did, but I would have needed an aggressive action.
Yeah, or a really good flip, like a whole bunch of double oranges, and yeah. Because that Blur, despite being a very powerful attacker, he's very glass cannonish. Like,
oh yeah,
he has 10 health and 2 defense, or 2 defense. Yeah, so
it's
very
2,
easy to take him out.
Yeah, so 7. So even if I had like a supercharge or something like that, it'd have been really tight. I don't think I flipped ideally.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, you can see here, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't have the untap. If he has the untap, the game is just over.
Right, absolutely.
For some reason, I was making sure anticipation wasn't for cars only. I kind of forgot for a moment.
It's all good. So he does use anticipation to hit, but he hits an erratic lightning. So, but still getting for a decent 7 attack. And is that going to kill? Yeah, that's going to kill it too.
Yeah.
6 health. Even if you flip a blue, you're only going to have 7 total, 6 health and 1 defense. So I guess it's still going. So now it's Tailwind versus the World, and seems like a very uphill battle.
Well, it's uphill battle when I'm playing a bashing shield to hope I survive an attack.
Yep. Okay, so double focus fire on the Tailwind, and Tailwind's gonna go at that Blur, probably kill it. Okay, nope, go on that Prowl. Why'd you decide to go after Prowl and not Blur here?
The Blur's ability no longer matters, and the Prowl actually represents more damage.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. What I guess Prowl's or the Blur's only 3 attacks. So.
Right.
For sure. Prowl is so annoying. The wave 1 Prowl, like that bold 2 that he just passes to everybody with the untap, so powerful.
It's a lot of flipping, but when you're not doing anything else,
I guess like when you have Start Your Engine and stuff when it works in the perfect world, but
Oh yeah. Well, Start Your Engine is a lot of stuff, and I want to say he has a showing off in the deck too.
Oh jeez. So okay. And Blur is actually stronger in this mode. I forgot he is other mode. He has like 5 attack actually now. So
yeah, he went big boy mode, and that was the end of it.
So miss for anticipation engine, hit a improvised shield, but still attacking for 8, and the fact that Dan has to attack into the wasted attack into the Blur is gonna let Prowl just probably KO the Tailwind. So
correct. It would
in a tournament setting, I'm pretty sure Dan would. I'll take that back. You probably wouldn't scoop, right? You probably just played out because you're both playing orange deck, so you're not gonna even hit that 50-minute time mark. But I have said in the past, and I'll say it again. In certain matchups, especially depending on how much time is left in the round, in a situation like this, you should just scoop your cards. Dan, of course, again, is not. Go ahead.
I want to say I do scoop here. I actually think I'm shuffling, and I'm just like, I don't think I can win.
In all reality,
but realistically, on camera, I normally would never scoop.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So it's one of those.
It's just something just to kind of just keep people in that reminder, just like to from my time video a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago rather. That
yeah. See, I just do it, but I didn't play anything. I'm just like I'm just gonna I know the game is over.
Right.
But I like to finish it. Whenever someone asks me on camera, I'm like, yeah, I'll finish the game. Why not?
For sure. But yeah, just in a general sense, when you're at tournaments and things, just make sure you're checking that timer. There's so many things to think about, in the course of the game. Between checking your opponent's scrap pile, checking your scrap pile, checking the timer, it's a lot. I get a headache after games. I don't know about you, but after all the things I check in, throughout a game.
Yeah, no, it happens. It adds up. I think Wads is shuffling here, and I'm like, you got me, bro.
Bro, 2 health left. Come on.
You got me, bro.
I even get to a point sometimes where, not to be conceited, but against my opponent, I'm like I'll point out how it's game. If I have an Energon axe on my guy and their guy has 2 health left, and I'm like, okay, well, Energon axe. So I'll just show them bigger they are. So kind of just save 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It'll matter.
Yeah.
And then game 3, get into it. So you're reading Blur here. Did you?
I think I'm just contemplating if I should go first or second, which I mean.
Probably should go first.
It was just a matter of trying to figure out exactly who to attack first, I believe.
Oh, okay, legit.
And kind of realizing, I also want to point out that I was testing OA the entire day,
right.
So I never boarded it out or anything like that. I never changed the deck at all much. It might have just been a card here, card there.
Now, what situation would you board out OA?
I probably would have. I definitely think I would have boarded it out in this matchup, just because it's. The chance I shouldn't have the time to do it, as you saw, since the Springer died so early. Now it'll be a little different this game because he's not going to be able to attack the Springer first.
Right.
So that's a big deal.
Right.
But generally speaking, you would have boarded it out in this type of matchup because it's just you're not gaining anything. You're already at the advantage at 4-on-3. So you would much rather have better aggressive cards to kill to KO whatever he attacks with.
Okay. So already in the mode Dan wants to be in, like he said earlier.
I just point at it like I'm doing this.
Yep. So scrap the Bash and Shield, draw 2 cards, and deciding who to attack. Let's see. But before you just, I think I would attack probably the Blur, so you don't need to put 2 attacks into him.
Well, he hasn't
seen an untapped in 2 games, so if he sees one this game, like that's just definitely devastating. Oh, okay.
The big assumption here is you attack that because he's going to attack with it.
Based off what he did game 1.
Right. Like this is like the mind game that I talk about quite often. It's where it's like, well, he did this 2 games in a row. He's going to do it again.
Right.
And if he does it again, then I take away an untap. So this is basically forcing Wads to make a check on himself if he's supposed to do something else. But the problem is with this deck now with Blair, he is so all in on the bold 2 from the baby prow flip that it's like if he does send that and I kill it, the entire game is just over, right?
Right.
So it forces him it's a really bad position for him, which is why going first was very correct for me.
Understood.
But now it's like if he just sends the little prow, I just get to pick him off and I just take another untap away.
Yeah. Well, it's probably unnecessary, but it does have a fight for position, so that
well, he did miss in game 1, so that's why I think he was like, man, I really need something to make sure I get there.
Well, I guess I don't know the math. I think I might have been ballsy enough to just attack with the prowl without the anticipation engine to save it to somebody else, but that probably was wrong. I don't know. I'm not.
It's tough because if he lets the guy live, the game is over.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if he's not playing direct damage, so I guess Waj knows his deck better than I do. But just looking at it, so
yeah, like I'm not sure he does either.
Mm. Yeah, I haven't seen not even a zap so far throughout his flips.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any.
Mm. Okay, so flip the Springer, draw 2 more cards. Looking like you got 6 or 7 cards in hand, but you probably need to play an action or upgrade his turn. So that's gonna. It looks like you don't have a conversion engine yet. I think you would have played it at this point if you had it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I talk about in my last video. It's like your opponent has a card and doesn't have a card, depending on how fast they play.
That's fair.
Oh, I lied. Whoa, look at you! You froze me.
I slow rolled.
You slow rolled, you jerk. See, I would talk you out of that. Hey, bro, seriously. Okay, well, 90% of the time I'm right about that. Okay.
That's fair. So, like, I reckless charge here. I really don't have to, but I don't think I'm ever gonna get away with playing this card again. And the blur is gonna kill that guy anyway. So it's just like I'll just get it out of my hand and make sure that guy dies.
Yeah, but don't you think it would have died either way? Well,
it's very hard to say. I mean, he does have blues in his deck, So if I only get to say 5, and he somehow flips 2 blues, well, guess what? His guy's alive.
So I guess just making sure. And you're gonna gain some cards back anyway from the.
Right.
Did you discard? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I discarded the crowns.
To this day, I've yet to still build a Springer deck. I think I love drawing cards more than anyone in this game, and I still haven't built a Springer deck. I don't know.
I've built many Springer decks. He's pretty fun.
Nice. Well, I've built like 5 blue decks starting the format, so I just never got around to. I did have a version I wanted to play with Fire Drive and Red Alert, but it was just like a normal version, a fair version. So probably need to go with the unfair stuff.
That's boring.
Yep.
Yeah. So he doesn't have a weapon here, so that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's not loaded at all.
He's like flipping. I'm like, yeah, my guy's dead. I get it.
Yeah.
But
kills me, man. When people like attack with a character and like your guy only has 2 or 3 health left.
Yeah.
And like you see all that orange they flip, they see it, and then they still want to. I think it's a.
Oh, I know. It's
a dopamine thing. Like it's a feel good thing to count how high your guys attack.
Right. And you're like, yeah, you did too. You got me.
We don't even have to count. A lot of times I try to just cut off that. I was like, bro, he's dead.
Yeah, I look at it like, yeah, you're good, bro. You're okay. Just flip the right amount of cards and we're good.
Just look at it and stuff.
Yeah. So this game is clearly very different because the Springer is still alive and only took 7.
Yeah.
And I do have a billion cards in my hand, but I'm pretty sure like you already saw me like discard 2 crowns and even go past a third. So like I got away from the from the OA very quickly. I'm just not gonna do this. I'm just gonna play good orange cards.
And that's an aspect about this deck I like. You're not 100% focused on OA, and like if that crumbles, then you're just dead.
Yeah,
so I like you can play a normal game too, and like
I believe it was like a 12 card package that was in the deck.
Okay.
Something like that. It was like the 3 Terrifying Resilience, 3 Backup Beam, 3 Crown, and then 3 OA. I believe that was like the 12 card package that was in the deck.
That's an interesting combo. The fact that you can flip to bot mode with the Springer and then play your action, which is the treasure hunt. Then if you got something that you wanted off the treasure hunt, then you can play that for your upgrade. That is pretty cool.
That's what just happened.
Well, it's like a little small interaction I just noticed. Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's really good.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. He's really good.
Absolutely. That's pretty good. It's not grenade reckless, but that's still pretty good with 6 attack. 10 bull 2. No, 11 bull 2.
Yeah.
And then his actual upgrade for the turn. So okay, so it's 2 actions: treasure hunt and reckless charge, and then his upgrade being bashing in, or excuse me, backup being then bashing, and attacking that blur. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him prow.
They're all prows.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah. So there is a small chance, just looking at the game state right now, especially because you took 3 from that. Yeah. Prowl really needs to kill Springer this turn if he wants to have any chance of winning.
Yes.
So, because Tailwind could potentially not hit that 11 on the next turn. So
yeah, and then I'm like, you can see me. I'm pretty sure I pick up the backup beam here, unless I think I just have a grenade launcher in my hand, to be honest.
So Conversion Engine at the end of the turn is gonna flip back to his alt mode. I'm assuming 2.
Yep.
One of those. Discard a card and draw 2.
Yep. I discarded the Conversion Engine.
How did Hijack do against you all day? What was the way? What is the way to counter Hijack?
I'm trying to. So Hijack. Normally I just wedge formation. Like it's like if they laid a secret action, it was always like the first thing I did. I'm like, okay, I'll wedge formation.
Right.
And then they have to reveal. I'm like, okay, draw your card. Like that's fine.
Yeah, they have to keep in mind, guys. They have when your opponent would draw a second card for the turn, you have to flip it. Then if you don't, you just miss the timing for the rest of the turn and it just gets scrapped. So
yeah.
Which is really annoying because like one deck I played against played the Kinetic Converter, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So he would draw for the Converter first, and I would have to hijack that.
Yep.
All right, so Prowl's coming in to the Springer with, is that a supercharge, a fight for position?
A fight for position, looks like.
Okay.
So he gets to 8. And then 8 minus 2 is perfect. So if I flip a blue, he's alive. So him bashing shield by bashing shield, I believe, is the way he gets him.
Is the reason why I got it in. That works out. And that actually helps him on his defense to be able to potentially survive Tailwind attack. But then even then, Wads is kind of hard pressed because he still needs to go back and KO the Tailwind next turn. So
yeah,
it's coming down to the wire. Gonna flip the Tailwind. That gives him +2 attack and defense. It's gonna put him at 5/9 with the grenade launcher. So he only needs 3 more. Focus fire probably is enough if he flips oranges for his attacks flips. And you got bold 1. You missed your bold 1. Oh, there it is. Okay. And that's enough unless he flipped the blue. Did he live that?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Jeez.
Oh no, that's right. We forgot the Sky Patrol's attacks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna say the flood. There it is. Okay. I was gonna say I think that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right, man. Well, so after that round, what did you play round 2?
I played against the General Optimus Sky Patrol list.
Okay.
And I 2-0'd that deck. And then I played against you in round 3.
Oh, we did play, didn't we? I forgot about that.
Yeah, we played against you round 3, and like you had sabotage armament. Like the problem, like the funny thing was about the list is that we kind of thought it would be really good, or at least a little bit better to steal like KOs against blue decks. But like it's so much more complicated to get the deck to work against blue decks because of armaments and checkpoint and disarm and like all these cards that people are just playing in every one of their blue decks. So like I learned pretty quickly against you is just like, yeah, all it takes is for him to just do something and I just lose.
Okay, and I'm about to say, so we had a discussion about that at the end of the match. Now you mentioned security checkpoint would just keep you off of OA way too often. Besides me, like with the way I was doing my flips. Now the way I thought about it was the fact that I felt like if I kept you off of that, but I lost Mirage, there was like a point if I would have lost Mirage that I'd be 2 versus potentially 4 because my Flame War and Mirage weren't really doing anything, and I would just lose to, like you said, the alternative win condition of the deck, just play a regular Bugs deck or Orange deck or whatever. But so what I'm getting at is what you're saying. So security checkpoints really just keeps you off of it.
Yeah, it was really like against most blue decks, they don't have the advantage that your deck did with the Optimus Prime flip.
That's the legend, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, and on top of that, your Optimus only has 14 health. Mm-hmm. So, like, if I remember correctly, in Game 1, I killed your Optimus before you even attacked with it or something like that. It was just, like, some ridiculous thing. It was like, well, your Optimus is dead, now there's no way you're going to beat me, which is then which you pointed out. Like, as soon as I did it, you're like, yeah, okay, go to Game 2, right?
Oh, yeah, there's no reason to... I know too many people that are probably still trying to play that game out. Like, come on, Flame War Mirage, we got this. Like,
right. No. But for the deck to, like, be able... If you were just, like, armoring up your Optimus the whole time and making him the threat and, like, just letting your Mirage, like, just do his own little thing, there's like the chances of me like getting through just a 15 is so unlikely, where your Optimus every time he attacks he just gets to kill something,
I think that makes sense because like every turn you're not playing supercharge upgrade or like a regular aggressive deck. You're not playing those power up attack.
Yeah, because at that point the 12 card package in my deck actually becomes a liability.
Right.
So that's kind of where it becomes a difference, and like it's really just because you have Battlefield Legend and you can always get what you want. And even if it's not checkpoint, even if it's just armaments, like that's good enough,
Right. Yeah, but it's the turn at tailwind attacks, and then for sure.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, I play armaments, go. What are you gonna do? It's like, well, I lose. That's what I'm gonna do.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Hey, well, Dan, man, I appreciate you being here for my first collab on my channel. That was very exciting to do, and I definitely will be doing more of these in the future, even on games that I think it'll be really cool to do it on games that don't have either of us in it. So, it's kind of get that, not I want to say unbiased, but that opinion on people's games based off of that. So, definitely a lot more to come with that. So, guys, be looking forward to more content from Dan and myself. As you guys know, like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm officially part of the team, so we got a lot more collabing to do, a lot more game analyzation to do, and definitely some things to pick up from these guys. So be looking out for more content coming from us soon. Dan, thanks a lot for being on my channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. All right, guys, you guys know what it is. You guys have a great day and or night whenever you're catching this video. This is your homie S. Dot and Dan of Vector Sigma. And now, peace.
Thanks, guys.